Lowell, you really put together quite a thing back then. Just terrific. Waldo Anderson, a good friend of mine over here, another Hall of Famer. Waldo, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Waldo flew the S-38 Sikorsky in the movie The Aviator. Howard Hughes. I would say Waldo Anderson is probably the most talented pilot in this room. I would say that, but that wouldn't be fair to me. Other inductee tonight, I have a lot of connections to all this stuff, and amazingly. Lloyd Ellsworth, I was one of the 3,500 that got my private license from Lloyd Ellsworth many years ago. And I've got to really recognize, what's his name over there? Billy Walker. Billy and his wife Cheryl put in so many hours putting this together and getting me inducted, and I really appreciate that, Billy. It was going to be a surprise, and I didn't know what was going on as far as this induction. In fact, I heard my wife Connie talking to Billy, and I thought it was going to be an intervention. Or one time I heard Billy down at the CAF Museum saying something about an indictment. But I'm supposed to talk about myself, so, and a lot of people don't know this about me, but I was raised in an orphanage. Really, I mean, my folks had a whole chain of them. They did very well. I wrote some books that before I got into aviation, I tried to get my hand as an author, and I wrote some books, but they didn't go very far. One of them was Who's Who at AA, and I tell you, in a small town, that's not a good deal. Also, Amelia Earhart's Guide to the Pacific. But after a severe head injury, my doctor advised me I should get into something a little less challenging, so I decided to get into aviation. So I talked to Julie Clark about possibly becoming an astronaut, and she warned me that being an astronaut is difficult, and that you have to wear a very cumbersome suit. It's pressurized, and you have to have an oxygen mask because there's no air in space. At least that's what she told me. But Julie, come on. There's an Air and Space Museum. Mike, I'll be here all week. No, I started learning to fly back in the early 70s, and it wasn't very easy for me. I had some trouble with my landings until I finally stole a pair of 3D glasses from the IMAX theater, and that helped me with my landings a lot more. And but I started Newberg Sky Spray. My wife and Ty and I started Newberg Sky Spray 36 years ago, and with two very simple mottos, or philosophy, I should say. One of them for the farmers, as far as crop dusting, is we cheat the other guy and pass the savings on to you. And as far as aircraft sales go, my philosophy there is you can fool some of the people some of the time, and these are the ones you want to concentrate on. I had the I wish my friend Bob Odegaard was here tonight, because he was like a brother to me. And I got to fly Stang quite a bit because of him, and it was his airplane, Stang, and then he would fly Tripes of Mighty, another Mustang, and we did many flyovers for funerals and other functions and Veterans Day and things like that, and for the commemorative Air Force down in Mesa. And then I would get out of that airplane and jump in my Stearman, and Billy Walker and I would fly our Stearmans, and we would do the same type of thing. And a lady came to me one day and she said, I saw you flying formation in Stearmans, and then right after that you were flying Mustangs, which are almost 3 times the speed. Isn't that difficult? And I said, well, speed's a relative thing. Like, for instance, there was a snail going down the street, and 2 turtles came up to him, beat him up, and stole his shell and left him lay there. A little while later, that snail came to and shook himself off and continued down the street, and he came up to another snail, and the snail said, man, what happened to you? And he goes, I know. I was just going down the street, minding my own business, and these two turtles came with me, and they beat me up and stole my shell. The other snail said, man, that's horrible. Did you get a good look at him? And he said, no, it all happened so fast. All right, my 5 minutes is probably up. I mean, I noticed how short 5 minutes can be today. But I tell you what, I started flying over 40 years ago, and I absolutely have just been a wonderful, wonderful trip. My wife and I were married in 1977 and lived at the airport in Hector ever since. Raised 3 wonderful boys, and it's just been a great trip. And I am the epitome of what Confucius say, pick a job you love and never work a day in your life. Thank you.